Okay, last outcome. Word problems with trig equations. Okay, we were given a max at 311 and then a minimum at 9, 1. So I like my visuals, so that's kind of what I'd be doing. I'm at a max and then I'm at a min. Okay, here we go. We know our A, B, and C and our D stuff. What do we mean? Okay, so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to decide what height is in the middle. What height? So I'm looking at a height of 1 and 11, and now I'm figuring out what number will be in the middle of those. What y height is between a 1 and 11? Did you get 6? So 2 ways you could think about it. It's an average. 1 plus 11 is 12, and divide by 2. Or these are 10 away from each other. So if I cut 10 in half, I need to go 5 up or 5 down. Okay, so this is our, in a graph, that's our D value because our midline shifts up 6. Okay, now, what's the amplitude? So from 6, how much are you spanning up and down? Did you pick 5? Because 6 plus 5 is 11, or 6 minus 5 is 1. So that is which letter? That's the A, right? An amplitude is the A part of a curve. Okay, next. Let's figure out our period here. So, from there to there, what distance did I cover? How long did that take me? So I went from 3 to 9. A distance of 6. Is that a cycle? No, that's not a cycle. Does anybody know how much of a cycle I just go through there? I went through a half of a cycle. So what do you think my full cycle will take me? A full period should be 12. Does that make sense? Do you see it visually? Because I still need to go top, middle, bottom, middle, top. So full period is 12. Okay, so we're going to go like this. 2 pi over b equals period. Remember that little formula? Okay, so 2 pi over b needs to equal 12. Okay, in a cross-multiplying sense of solving for b, are you okay to understand I could switch the b and the 12? That's like a cross-multiply. So I'm going to switch the b and the 12. And I'm just going to reduce that because the 2 and the 12 I could divide by 2. Okay, we have a b, we have a d, we have an a. Okay, the last thing is to decide, this is a cosine equation. This is a cosine equation. Where is a cosine point? Starts from a top. So that could be a cosine coordinate. If it was the starting point, it is now shifted right 3. Because the coordinate is an x value of 3, not 0. Okay, you ready? Y equals 5 cos, that's the A, B x, how do you make something show right 3? Right 3. And then the midline shifted up 6. Does this make sense? From all the things that we just did, now we're going backwards with them. Okay, let's try another one. Okay, we have max 10,000 at year 8. Years later. Okay, be careful there. If you're 10 years later, what's the actual x value? 18. It hits a minimum of 2,000. Okay, here we go. I want to figure out first, I'm going to do the d value first. Okay, what is the middle height? What's the middle height? Did you come up with 6,000? Is that okay? Okay, next I'm going to figure out my amplitude. So how much am I above? How much am I below? It should be the same number if you did it properly, right? Is it 4,000? Right, you're spanning 4,000 above, 4,000 below. Okay, so now that's my A, the D. Now let's do the period, the B value here. Okay, how much distance do we have there going on? From 8 to 18. So that's 10. Are we understanding that that's not a cycle? That's not you going through a whole cycle? So your period would actually be 20. Okay, so now I got to do that little formula. 2 pi over b equals period. Okay, to solve for the b, I'm just going to cross multiply, which ends up switching those. Okay, I'm going to go with a pi over 10. So I'm just reducing it. Okay, now this told me I had to write with a sine curve. Okay, is this a sine curve start? Nope, I can't start from a top. Does this a sine curve start? Nope. Would this be a sine curve start? It's in the middle, but it's not because it's a middle heading down. So I really would like this coordinate. Or this coordinate, doesn't matter. But do you see how those would start a sine curve? Because it has to start middle, heading upward. Okay, why don't I ask you right here, what is the x coordinate here? Would anybody be able to figure out how to get that? 8, 18, what would this be as an x value? Would it be right in the middle? What's right in the middle? 13? Did you think about what you're jumping by? 8, 13, 18. What are your jumps? Every 5, right? So in other words, this would be a 23x. What would this one be over here? 3. Okay, so let's write this equation out. Y equals the amplitude sine
18 plus 3 is
18 plus 5.
Oh.
Yeah. Do you see? Like, because this was 10, so then I halved it, and I was like, okay, well, this is 5 and another 5. Yeah. Yeah. Do you see it?
I carried the first part of over then.
Oh, from this one, maybe? Do you see all these pieces? There's the A, B, the D. Okay, so I need to start this sine curve. You could either say right 3 would have been fine. I would have also have taken that, because also this point is another sine curve. Okay, so I would take coordinates like that. Okay, this bottom one is the same example, so maybe I'll leave it for tomorrow. But, ooh, I wish I would have given you a different problem here. Give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna find an applied question here, maybe. Okay, here's an applied question we're going to do.